And we're live.
Excellent. All right. Hello there, future humans and fellow seekers. This is Nai Coach. With me, I have
Jailene.
All right. So the plan for today. Well, first of all, I'm working on the A grade samples, trying to get them towards data bedrock. I've populated the 48 volumes of give me enough materials, raw materials to work with. So now I'm going towards that proper. And it's intense because that's sort of the heart of my confidence in the data is with the A grades. So I'm feeling a bit raw right now. So as I talk to Jailene, I'm not sure if I'm going to go the whole 2 hours. I'm going to try to do that. I even considered whether to do it today or not, but I really don't like to miss Sunday sessions. It's just kind of a spiritual ascending for me. I rise up each time, so I really like doing that. And I promised a few people that I would do some things today. So I'll make sure I take care of that, and then I'll see how much time and energy I have left in me. Okay, so first I'm going to be going over some reads that Glenn did as part of the A grade work, the experiments, and he had some samples that he missed during his run through, although overall his scores are very, very high, but there's a few that he was missing and was curious about. Or thought worth noting. So I'm going to go over a few of those with Jailene. Then I want to talk a bit about going forward, how I'm going to be organizing the data that's in the sample server program, because it's going to have both the Rosetta Stone and post Rosetta Stone samples. And as a part of that, I will talk about what my feelings are or thoughts are on read requests coming in post Rosetta Stone. And then there are a few reads that was sent to me by email from someone who's been watching us for a while. They were hoping I could take a look at. I'm going to take a look at a handful of them with Jailene. And then with whatever time energy is remaining, I've been working on a tab for family members in the Rosetta Stone, where it's going to go into like career bubble. There'll be a tag. It's not really career, but it's just a bubble, but it'll be family. And that will be for anyone who has another same-sex family member in the collection. Right now, we have about 900 samples that meet that criteria. I've read roughly 700. And there's a term we'll start using now, which is instances of the phenomenon. So if you have two brothers that are the same mojo, that's one instance. It's two people, but it's one instance. If there's three brothers or three brothers and a father, that can be three or four, 2, 3 instances. It's always one less than however many you have. There are same-sex family members. Okay, with that said, there are a few there I'd like to read today if we have any time energy. And before we kind of get into the various things proper, I'll just mention where we currently are. We often say over 90%, just because I felt like the right number just from what we generally know. But now we have some firmer numbers on that, because out of 700 of those samples of the 900 that have been read, there are in that 375 instances of the phenomenon of same-sex family members having the same mojo design. And of so 375, and then there are 10 anomalies. So 385 instances of same-sex family members, we'll call bonds or connections, I guess the right word, connections, and only 10 out of 385 are anomalies. And of those, 7 are male anomalies and 3 are female. And the male anomalies, there is, just throwing it out there, the possibility of infidelity. And of course, there's also adoption. So, but let's go ahead and say those are actually, legit anomalies, because we don't know different on that. So let's say they are, but that's still going to put us somewhere like definitely, I think, comfortably over 95%. 95, probably closer to 97. But anyway, there's some rough numbers, but those are some firmer numbers now that I've started collecting that data. Okay, so let's then go with Glenn. All right, so let's see here. Where is it? Okay, all right. So how do we do this, Charlene? I'll read out and maybe you go look it up.
Sure.
Okay, so here you go.
Look it up, and by look it up, you mean
sample on Google or on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, so here's one, Josh Thompson. Okay, I believe that's the MMA fighter. Okay, so here's what Glenn says. With Josh's case, I think that he was a bit too quick to judge his case because it actually looks like that of a lot of Zivi to me. He has a sheer cheeks. Okay, so he could see it. Okay. I think I may have thought that because his face looks a certain way or has a certain shape that it made me think Jivi as compared to Zivi. Due to this little confusion, I chose incorrectly and therefore need to make sure I do better in that respect. Yeah, and this is high-level stuff that Glenn's kind of talking about here because he's going through the A grades, but he's been doing this for a while, so this is really good feedback here. What he's talking about there is okay. So what he's saying, and I agree, he has pretty classic Zivi features. But one thing that can happen and you have to watch out for as part of mode reading, it's very important, is that this is a subtle phenomenon and it is very energetically expensive. It requires quite a lot of concentration, aesthetically, artistically, philosophically, conceptually. That's all happening at once as you're doing this. And so because it's so subtle and it is so, I mean this in a good way, a positive way, it is strenuous. It is a strenuous exertion of observing the human condition. And because of its subtlety and its strenuousness, there's all kinds of things your brain can do in order, one, if you're distracted, it doesn't take a lot of distraction, particularly if you don't know the distraction is there and therefore you can kind of see past it. It can be louder signals of skin tone, of noses, of funny lip things like that can really draw the eye, and you have to watch out for that because they're louder than the signals you're going for. So you sometimes note, that signal's there, and you go through it. What Glenn's talking about here is also your psyche, because of the strenuousness, it's always looking to conserve energy. And there's like an infinite variety of ways that your psyche will try to save energy, and you have to actually stay on task. And a lot of times that requires telling your apparatus, your lens, why you need to do certain steps, because otherwise you won't get the results that you want. So one of those things is you kind of like start reading with your lens, and then it could feel like you're still doing the lens flex, but there's actually like a flex and push instead of a flex and flex. All right, so you flex, and it looks like that Glenn saw Der Ab and Der Ab with Vi. So he pretty flex, and it felt probably like when he's going fast, it was flex, flex, flex. I see Der Ab, I see Vi, I see Jez, but that last part was actually like a little push. It wasn't actually a flex. And if there's nothing immediately to let you know that you don't have that, your psyche can, I don't have to do that third rep, because these are like powerlifting moves here. So each rep's a big deal, and you have to do however many reps you need to close in. But it's strenuous, and so you have to note that, and note the feeling of when a flex is not, it's a push. You kind of got to push towards the close. Like, Charlene, you know I talk about it all the time. You're like, oh, it feels like I did this. That's an add sub. And we've had a lot of good work with this with, for example, the winter sport, looking at a lot of the Xi-V. You see add sub, and then you see add sub with V.
Right.
But sometimes, because you know they're in music or you know that they are in winter sport, it feels like you flexed a third time to like get the Zez versus Jez, but actually you use a bubble help. Or in the case of, like, say, Glenn, sometimes there's a general shape, like the Z first, they have a bit more of a boxier Der Ab look, whereas the G first, it's also full face, but it's a little more rounded. It's like a rounded full face, like a full oval.
Right, in general, yeah.
In general, and so sometimes you could, there's all kinds of these little things where, like, it because it's so strenuous, your psyche will look for, can't we just use that? And by the way, this is not bad. Your psyche's supposed to have these two hands helping each other. You just have to make sure the first hand pushes as far as it needs to go to actually get the read. But it is helpful, for example, like if you know that you're in a given area, to kind of do that, or you see a general, pattern of a certain kind of face outline, using that to kind of get on the green, or to finish something off. But you should always check it. So sometimes I'll do that, like what Glenn's talking about. I'll do that where I'll actually go Der Ab, Vi user, Vi Mojo, and then also the Jez.
Yeah.
But then I have to, generally, we do this all the time, and this is where, like in laboratory, you have to be able to be exploratory. Because I'll actually say, "Ooh, Jivi," and then I'll go, "No." That happens all the time. I'll actually go, oh, Jibai, wait, no, it's Zibai. And part of that is lingering enough on the sample to make sure that I get that secondary kind of signal to me, like, wait, I got close to it, but I didn't actually get it.
Right.
And then also there's an internal feeling of, wait a minute, I didn't actually flex on that. Let me go back and flex on that. So I'll go, oh, it's a Jibai. Wait, did I flex all the way through on that? Let me flex all the way through. And that can be confirmed or not. And by the way, it's still efficient. Like if my psyche just leaps to like a strong, like Jibai kind of thing, I can use that to get there. And then I read that to make sure that was correct. And that sounds like it's two things. It's actually more efficient sometimes than just flex, 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 a straight like first, second gear or even third gear kind of flex. If you can fourth gear flex, it's good, but you got to check it and you have to note when you were actually seeing things directly or when like larger pattern contextualizing was pushing you along.
Right. It could help as an estimation of what the right mojo might be, but then it's good to it's appropriate to follow up with validating that by going all the way through but it gets you closer to the target.
It does quite efficiently.
Faster, yeah,
faster. And you just have to make sure you do like a follow-up, like a read of that. So you like zoomed in, you got a zoom read, like an auto zoom read, and then you read the auto zoom read. Because otherwise you don't want to actually train yourself to necessarily, like, for example, like the instincts that Glenn was having to kind of, because it sounds like he went right to Jibai very fast. So that's actually not a bad thing as long as you check that. You check that initial instinct, but that instinct is good because that got you from 1 out of 16 options, like bam. So actually, and what it actually did was it got you down to 2 of 16, 1 of 8. You know, but 2 out of 16 it got him down to. So you go, oh, that's cool, and then wait a minute, is that the one? And then you get the 1 out of 16 it actually is.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. All right. See, next one up. Jalen, let you go ahead and take this. Sure. Let's see. Gene Garofalo, similar thing. Okay. This is Jibai. See, L. Literary Artistry. And by the way, I'm working on the A grade, so I'm just going to confirm that I haven't like moved this out or anything. This is Artistry. Let me check my symbols. Artistry. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she's down as Jibai. I went over her.
What is her name?
Her name is. Oh, thank you. Here we go. Sorry, a lot of screens and my sequencing is terrible. All right, there you go, Charlie.
No worries. Appreciate it.
L. Leary Artistry. All right, so this is what Glenn was saying. Elle's case is a good one because I actually spent time with her case and was in a more thoughtful state of mind while trying to figure out her mojo. I chose to categorize her as a Zez mojo, mainly because I thought I was noting what appeared to be an unaware mouth. Looking at pictures makes sense on a certain level because it looks a bit awkward, but I suppose G aware mouth can look like that sometimes. Taking her case into account, I'll have to make some adjustments to his personal model of the phenomenon because she's a bit of a strange case. But he thinks that's a good thing, and it is. It's important to know the full range that various palettes can express themselves.
Right.
Sometimes making discernments isn't appropriate given that new data comes into one's lens and needs to be properly synthesized. Yep, very true. All right, cool. And so he says, otherwise, he does believe he sees the activation of the cheeks and the Lionic quality. So it looks like for him, it was the G looked like Jai to him. Do you want to talk on that a bit?
Yeah, that's actually come up as, it's come up in several instances, but as we're going right now through the winter sports and bubble or career bubble and purifying that, it's come up several times, especially as we're trying to really zone in and purify these, last few samples that are in general harder cases. We found that there are several of them that have to do with something being kind of a physiologically, for some reason, it reminds you of a certain power, but ends up not being. It's kind of a false indicator, and several of them have been, with a mouth that's like looks like Jai, or vice versa, but in this case, like Jai, it'll look like a Jai mouth because either physiologically, like for example, I think with her, I think I'm noticing, you know, and we've seen this with several samples that were harder samples to tell because of that. Her lower lip is a little fuller and sticks out. So like I'm used to, you know, using that, you know, then in hindsight, I remember that I'm used to using this, that someone has a bigger volume of the lower lip as a tell for a Jai. So got to be careful, you know, about, you know, it's that second check that you were talking about, right? So it's good to note physiological cues, and it could be also sometimes like, and she has this also, is it can be a little awkward of a smile that sometimes makes you because of the unaware quality of Jai, it can look a
we tend to
little,
associate awkward and unaware, but it's not one to one.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be like physiological tell that's a false indicator, or it could be like, yeah, exactly. In both cases, whether it's an awkward expression or whether, you know, there's a certain like indicator, like a larger lower lip that you would sometimes, you know, that a lot of times is associated with Jai, that can lead you that way. But it's I think it's a matter of doing a second check, right? I mean, that's helped us a lot during the process.
And also do a second check, definitely. And then even before that is you and I have been working more and more on like noting what does it feel like, both internally or something about the case visually that makes us think we should probably do a second check here. So getting that awareness up is very important, and then being willing to do the extra effort.
Yeah, and when you're seeing dissonance has a good amount to do with that.
Absolutely.
Like for example, with her, I think one of the things that as I'm looking at her and trying to think through the case, I could definitely see that I could go that route of because it's prominent, her lower lip, for me at least, looking at the canvas or the subject, and but then when I look at other pictures like this one, I see activation above the midline, so that would.
Right.
And well, I guess that wouldn't necessarily mean Ji or Jai, but I guess here I'm seeing the upper lip plate, I guess, activated in sort of a pucker, a suggestive pucker, and so that would be a dissonance with, you know, Jai, and so that would cause me to, you know, keep trying to clarify, right, go further.
And you're not wrong about the distance also too about the jez, because when you're looking at a read, you may be considering a few options, but usually it's not a lot of options. And within those options, one thing about the phenomenon, now we've worked on thousands of cases, is there are these reoccurring patterns of certain palettes and fields going together in combinations. So if they're seeing there's something off, like those two don't normally go together. For example, if you're seeing Jai and they, or you think you are, but you're also seeing the cheeks move, that means that you're seeing an ad mojo. But if you were thinking that it was some kind of der mojo right there, like, wait a minute, that wouldn't make sense. So you're not wrong, but actually, you know, sometimes seeing another cue tells you that it's not, that wouldn't be one of the ones I was thinking of. Like if you're trying to tell apart, for example, I think maybe Glenn was, let me see what that was. Yeah, that was G-Vi versus Z-Vi. So he's basically doing a subdivision of the der-ob distinction. So he's trying, like, so it's a quiz, but he could also be out in the street where he's seeing something. He's like, ooh, it's I can tell it's going to be one, the der-ob, and then sees what he thinks is Jai, but also cheeks moving, because that would mean this is an ad mojo, and that would mean, wait a minute, I'm not on, I must be seeing something off, because that would make sense.
Yeah.
Also, something else that she's doing here that we mentioned, because you mentioned the physiology and then also the awkwardness. There's another one that we've been mentioning a lot, which I think is maybe like, you can, if you want to touch on this, it's similar, but I think we've mentioned it kind of in its own thing, is a pained look. That's been something that's made us go towards Jai when it was actually Ji.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. Yeah, so some samples have that an expression. A lot of times will come from the mouth area, or I think that's at least what I've noticed. But sometimes the eyes that can look a little bit pained, for lack of a better word, and that's something that we associate a lot with shy. So again, it can cause you to go down that route. And then, but then it's a matter of, in those cases, again, looking for, more data points.
Mhm.
As much media as you can, like pictures, to try to confirm. So especially if you start seeing some dissonance, right?
Right.
Because then
A lot of times, like say, even working the A grades, we only have 2 pictures.
mhm.
It stills enough if you actually note, wait a minute, before you click that button, of your selection.
Yeah.
I do a lot of like, what it's wait. And so I've learned that to give that wait thing enough. I
Right.
don't let weigh on forever where I don't ever make the call if I need to, or it wastes too much time. But actually giving a little space to that lull of wait a minute, that's a really good thing to do.
Yeah, like if we had these two pictures, for example, this one and this one, I would see, okay, like I would start seeing okay, I see the lower lip, it projects outward, and I don't see her cheeks moving. But then, on this side, I'm seeing, in this picture, seeing the activation here in the cheeks, and seeing also like some awareness, some movement of the upper lip plates. Those kinds of things would start would clue you in, I think, right,
Right.
to where you might be headed.
Exactly, and that you may need to flex again the lens, and but like these things you're saying, Charlene, because you've been this a long time, it takes a lot of artistic concentration. So artistic and really like a kind of like conceptual human math that are happening. Those are both very high level things. So you need to tell your psyche why you're doing it. And so if you go, wait a minute, that seems like dissonance, right? If you can point out dissonance, I notice my lens is much more willing to give me that extra flex if I can say, yeah, but there's dissonance with what we've done so far. Oh, on that, one that comes up a lot, and you and I are very experienced readers, but this happens like a lot when we're making of the errors. We don't make a lot of errors, but of the errors we make, this actually comes up a lot, where we'll do it, get the wrong answer, and then we'll go back and we'll look at the pictures and like, how did I get that wrong? Like I could totally see it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to actually check yourself right after you did it, and there's all kinds of reasons that come up. But it comes up a lot, and this goes right to what Johnny was saying. It feels like you read both pictures, but you didn't. Mm-hmm. Especially when you start doing high volume, you have to watch out for taking one picture and like if your eye jumps to that picture and that gives you like what feels like an on the green riff read, for example, then you kind of go with that. And I swear, it happens all the times. It's really helping getting more tuned to this. It feels like you read both pictures. When you go back to go like, why did I get that wrong? And you're looking like, that makes no sense. I could totally see it. It's right there. But I didn't cross-contextualize with even just two pictures. Yeah. It's fascinating. Like your psyche's like, yeah, one's good. One's good. You feel confident. Go. And that little conversation is really fast. One's good enough. Keep going. You got a lot more to do today.
Yeah. There's a higher correlation the longer the session is.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Which is great. It's good to actually go to failure so you can actually see where the cracks are. And obviously, when you're out and about in the world, you try to use your best abilities, and things that you don't feel confident at, you just kind of keep them at, I'm not sure about that yet. But it's good to kind of go, well, with where I am now, I think it's this. And you'll see it after a while, you'll start fatiguing and getting more errors. But they don't do it too much because it just beats you up. But a good amount of that, it's good to kind of like roll on the mat till you get some exhaustion, because then you see where your technical holes are. Where when you're feeling more robust, you may not show any errors at all, at least not until you start getting a little fatigued.
Yep.
All right. So I went on pretty good there. So I think I might be good. We went on. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do one more, and we'll move on. Okay, so he was okay, so here he did a lot with Jivi. Let's finish up going with the Zivi. So this is Kimberly Guilfoy, Darlene, and she's a Zivi, and he thought Zivi. So he's saying, looking at Kimberly, I feel like Zivi makes a lot of sense for Kate. I think the reason why I thought Jivi was because she has a wholesome look about her, which I tend to associate with G first. The emoting looks localized, though, despite her having a larger and balanced looking smile as compared to shy, unaware mouth. So let's tag team it, Charlene. Why don't you go take some thoughts there first, and I'll jump in.
Well, the wholesome, yeah, I think that well, at least I've personally experienced that before as well, where I'm looking at a certain sample and I'll have a certain tone like hit me of
Hmm.
like um, that will lead me to certain directions. But with her, I think Jai. I mean, it's a tough thing too. It's complex because the Jai can make you feel, make you look wholesome, right? Or it can be something else. Vi can be earnest and wholesome looking, or it can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think on the wholesome thing, one thing that might be going along with that is friendly.
Hmm.
I don't know exactly if Glenn meant that at all, but she does have a very engaging kind of energy about her, and she's using her Jai very well to do that. So it's kind of like a knowing, friendly kind of maneuver. So that's another one, is reading maneuvers, which is helpful because you need to read the maneuvers to read the instrument, but you have to read through them. You kind of note the maneuvers and then read through them to the instrument. But sometimes reading the maneuver can feel like you've read through it, but you're actually still on it or on a level of it. You may have gone through some, but not all, to the instrument. Another one, Charlene, that we've actually had a lot with winter sport that's been helpful is I'd say she also has a beaming quality.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so that's something I tend to associate with G myself, that beaming quality. Could just
Yeah.
be a general riff thing, but also could be the fact she spends so much time on camera. A lot of other Zevi riffs don't spend as much time on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And so that they have a lot of awareness and just, well, I think that just her natural riff, right,
Mhm.
is probably um there's certain riffs of Zevi, especially the ones I guess that are drawn towards being in front of the camera, that have a very beaming energy, and that can be read as it's very social, right, and
Yeah.
engaging, and so and gregarious, and
Well, that's a good word too. Yeah.
mhm,
Socially gregarious.
yeah, socially gregarious, yeah.
Something else I'm noticing here, because there's a Xeni, Donald Trump Jr., is one thing also about her general riff is she has like an always on quality. Her emoting, it's shy, but she, like, her Z seems to be like, always aware. I'm out and about. I need to have it on, set to a good mood. And if you look at Donald Trump Jr. in comparison, you'll see several times he looks prepared in certain ones, but like certain pictures, particularly when he's like holding her, and that picture above that where they're side by side, his Jai is kind of doing what a lot of Jai users do. The higher up it is, the more it does this, but they all do it, where they kind of just sort of forget about what their emoting looks like. He doesn't look like he really is super in this. This is interesting. That's Jai unaware. That's what we call the bucket, the wide smile that is energized first by the lower lip, but it's on. You mean she's like photo on. Actually, Charlene, you mentioned that also. Is that there is a correlation, but it's not a one-to-one. Is that what's the word you use, Charlene? I forget exactly, but basically meaning that the smile has an evenness, like a symmetry to it.
Yes,
G
symmetry.
users tend to have natural symmetry because of the awareness, the aware quality of it. Where she does a very good job of this, and I know, having known a lot of Jai motors in my life and Jai users, that's not that's what Charlene was talking about the other night. It's not common, or not anywhere near as common for G users to be able to take a natural photo with a natural smile. People talk about how they have a great smile in normal life, but when they go on camera, they can't like get it like at the flash to be like
On demand.
on demand with symmetry.
Yeah.
But she has that. She has on-demand symmetry, which is unusual for a Jaimoja. But if you actually look past that maneuver, and that's where actually the fourth gear can be helpful, but also be problematic to watch out for, is because like Glenn was saying, if you just look at her, she has all the cues of Zevi. They're pretty classic and strong. But the symmetry element is something that one, if they know a lot about the samples, they're like, wait a minute, that kind of natural symmetry doesn't tend to go in Jai, but it can.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So next up, so you can go ahead and take that down for now, Charlene.
Sure.
Alrighty. So next up, I want to talk about how I plan to do things going forward. So there are several very important life projects that I want to get into, and requires the Rosetta Stone to do it. So that's put me to where I want to get the Rosetta Stone locked up with Data Bedrock and then stand on that and do these other projects. There's March Manifesto Teaching Story. It's very important to me, but I felt it's not right time into the Rosetta Stone. But once the Rosetta Stone is Data Bedrock, that calling, which I talk to Jolene about every day, that's going to come pouring out. And I want to give that full leave to do so. There's also painting I want to do, symbolic painting, so story and symbols. Again, I can't justify that the last years of my life because I've been working all my life to get to here now. But once the Rosetta Stone is Data Bedrock, then I'm like, well, it's all. I'm very excited. That'll be more compelling to my higher spirits. Then also, I want to do a lot of outreach because the Rosetta Stone is going to be large enough that it's not a question of is it enough or is it clean enough. It'll be large enough, it'll be clean enough. So the question is getting people to do the work, to pay attention to it, and then go through the steps they need to illuminate themselves. So doing request reads beyond the 32,000 is less important to myself and my higher spirits than getting anyone who can have time and talent to take a look and do the work to go through the program. And then also I want to go out and do some various meetup groups in my area in Portland because I am very keen to, they don't have to be pod lair, but I want to actually develop a group of friends that I can do hobbies that I enjoy, that allow my spirits to do what they want to do while being with other humans. And I want to create a small group of mojos for me to be with. Me and Jolene talk about, oh, let's see, we can go here, maybe do a little comedy improv. We've always wanted to do that. I think it would help my storytelling. So it's very easy to tell my spirits why we're doing activity. And I think I might be able to make some friends that do a common interest, and then we can have a little social alchemy build up here. So those 4 projects, and of course, the Rosetta Stone itself in the program, getting the program stronger, getting it more robust as far as functionality, maybe adding some artwork, some other things like that. So those 5 things, I'm going to be all about them for the rest of my life. With that said, I'm aware that 2 things. One, I'm not going to stop reading. I find it too interesting. I'm too into it. Me and Jolene, we do it all the time. It's just natural for us. That's still going to happen. And people are still going to have read requests they want done that are beyond the 32K. So I'm wondering how to deal with that. And this is what I've come up with. I'm basically going to treat these as 3 different things. There's going to be the Rosetta Stone that I'm going to take to Data Bedrock, 32,000, including 1,000 each of the 32 gender mojos, and then my projects that are going to be built off of that. I'm going to do experimental work, and I will allow my experiments to be, transparent to the public. They can do what they want with that. But as far as like my personal record, reputation, proficiency, presentation, that is going to be the 32K. So I'm going to be adding some sophistication to the categories in the sample server program. So I'm going to run through real quick here how I'm going to organize that. All right, I have 10 basic descriptors. One is going to be scant media. And scant media, there are samples right now that I have in requested and in, mainly they're in requested that are not high quality media. And they are enough of a different level of media quality that I don't want them to be mixed in with other requested samples. I want to separate requested that has more solid media from requested that doesn't. Okay, so scant media is basically going to mean that it's been requested by someone and it has enough media for me to include in the collection, but just kind of barely. And so I probably would have knocked it out of the collection if it was just up to me. So that's the lowest level entry. But I want to be respectful, I want to be friendly and inclusive, so I will try to keep those in as much as I can and add to those as much as I feel is appropriate. Next, pending. That's already in there, and what pending is going to mean going forward is samples that I don't have any particular interest in and no one else does either, but they have decent enough media, so who knows, maybe it'll be useful someday, so we'll keep them there. Above that is requested. Those are samples that have decent media and somebody asked for them. Above that is attention, and those are samples that myself or Jolene personally have an interest in. We want to work on those cases. Another category, the 5th one, is going to be workbench. Workbench is samples I am currently working on because I feel the need to distinguish between samples that I want to get to and ones I want to get to like tomorrow or within a week. Okay, so those are kind of 5 categories of things that have not been read. I'm going to have 5 for things that have had some reading applied to them. Okay, so there'll be a new tag called private, and private reads are going to be reads that I believe I know what the answer is, but I've not revealed them to the public, and that will be a cache I'll just let build up over the years until students are sufficiently trained that it makes sense for me to use them as quiz reads. So I want people to go through a lot more training on the sample surfer, and then they got some skills, because reads are expensive. It takes a lot of artistic concentration to do each one, so I'm not going to just throw them away. I'm going to make sure I'm going to try to wait for practitioners to where it's going to get some good use. Okay, then we're going to have we had soft reads. I'm going to break soft read up. And what soft read's now going to mean more specifically is spec read. It is a speculative read. That means that's what I am thinking the case might be. I'm leaning towards that. I'm kind of putting a pin in it, but I've not closed the case. All right, so there's going to be field spec, which is the lowest one. That's the one when we do live reads. I'm basically in the field, meaning I'm not in my lab. Laboratory conditions, there is no one around to watch the performance, which adds more pressure, and I can contextualize it once it's been put into the program with other samples. So there'll be private reads, which are not put out. Then there'll be field spec, which will be what most samples will be read at. Pretty much all samples will be read at field spec level, which is the lowest level of public speculation. Then there'll be lab spec. That means that Charlene and I have actually played with it in the program. We've given it some pressure. Above that, we're going to call them rated specs. So spec A, spec B, spec C, spec D, those are all what I'm called rated spec. Speculations that I feel firm enough that I'm going to give them an initial rating of difficulty. But all those are still going to be considered experimental, ongoing, open cases. Those are not closed cases. And that will relax me that I don't have to worry about what that means as far as like the purity of the teaching tool, as my read percentage score going up or down. I don't have to worry about that because I'm not closing those cases. That's fine for me, but I'm aware that there's a lot of genius going to be, embedded in that might be selfish to keep to myself. So I want to put it out there that this is what I'm thinking right now, but I've not closed those cases and I cannot be held to that kind of standard for that. The last category is data bedrock. That will be the initial 32K, and that's what I will fight with, I will push with, I will explain to the world that's what's going on, and I will handle all their pushback and any questions they have and any critique like that. If they want to come at, the data I have, that is the data that will be for that purpose. The purpose of kind of like saying, hello world, you must pay attention to this. You're like, well, should you check this or that? No. I have lots of speculative cases I need to check things on. I'm going to get the data bedrock, which means no, I no longer need to check on that when I'm actually trying to talk to the world about the phenomenon. So people are okay with that. I will still do read requests. With that said, it is secondary in nature. It's usually field spec reads, means they're not part of the official presentation collection, and it's going to be, and this has to be accepted when I feel like it. So there's other things I have going on, different things Eileen and I may get into, and we get into that, there will be maybe people we want to read. We're going to do that first. If there's TV shows and movies that we're into, we're going to do those first because this is now fun time reading for me. But I do have fun time reading during requests. Read requests can be fun time reading for me, but that will have the expectation. I will do them when it feels right and as it is fun for me and doesn't feel like I'm overly taxing myself to do so. But with that said, let's see if we can't do a few reads for someone who sent them in via email. They said for some reason they can't publish right now. I'll take them at their word. That's the case. So email is fine. All right. So this person, Charlene, is asking about, where are they at? Here we go. Milo Mannheim. There's no descriptor, so I don't know what this is, but here we go. Milo Mannheim.
Okay. Milo Mannheim is an actor. Here are pictures.
Gotcha. All right, Charlene, you want to, anything you see there?
Yeah, I'm seeing, well, this one didn't come through, but yeah, what am I seeing? think I'm seeing diffuseness in his eyes, like Nez,
Dreaming quality, yeah.
dreamy quality.
I think that perhaps I'm seeing, he's young, obviously, so there's leanness with youth, but I'm thinking that this is elongation.
Yeah, I was torn because some of the pictures looked a little more rounded
Yeah,
or oval, I should say.
right.
So I was still, but yeah, that's where I was leaning. Some of these pictures, like this one, for example, looks more elongated. I mean, that
Yeah.
seems to jump out.
Now on the Durad or Jez, I'm not sure about that yet. Those.
Yeah, I'm not sure either yet.
Let's see. Does he have any pictures that are like, if you can pause on like some ones that are like the bigger ones? Okay, that's interesting. That's really not great resolution, but
The
cheeks
body posture and the cheeks
and the cheeks, that's kind of interesting. Like they look like they're perhaps
not reacting, maybe.
not reacting, but he may be wearing makeup there. So, but
Yeah, here, for example, too.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
That
that's curious.
that also he's in a role there, so it can be a bit, of an affectation.
Right.
But I do think there might be something to it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not the longest digits. That's interesting.
No, I still think I'm seeing elongation overall.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one.
Here. Dot. Were you pulling out a particular picture?
No. Do you want to take a look at the video now?
Yeah. I think I'm good with that.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of good up close on his face images in Google.
Yeah, for some folks it can be like that, but yeah.
Oh, some are okay.
Some of them are okay.
He's also never
enough
too many.
for putting him in the sample surfer.
No, and he's also kind of young, so he has a bit of a, non-threatening kind of cultish vibe, and that can throw things. So I'm just kind of trying to account for that. That's kind of winter sport too. Certain winter sport, they tend to have younger competitors like ski jump, and a few others they tend to be quite young figure skaters, and so you have to kind of factor that in when you're looking at it. For example, like G, people are really young. They tend to be shy and less sure of themselves. So it's a more like kind of like wobbly G. Wobbly G can seem like Ja as far as maneuvers.
Yep. They can be tricky.
Yeah, do you mind throwing me the link?
Yes. Here you go.
All right.
All right, so he's with Meg Donnelly here on an interview.
Randy Jackson telling the truth? Did you really hang out at Idol? I was always at Idol. Every season. All right.
He does look elongated.
My kids are like, it's tonight, Dad. What's it about? And these Disney musical movies are such a big deal.
Yeah, it's about this town called Seabrook. And Seabrook is divided into two halves. One half human, one half zombie. Zombie, she's a human. And it's the first day that zombies are allowed to attend human high school. And my dream is to play football. That's what I want to do. Her dream is to be a cheerleader. And we kind of meet. We're not supposed to be friends because she's a human, I'm a zombie, but I make this connection. And
we realize that we're actually very similar, even though we're from two
different worlds.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. It's kind of he's kind of reminding me of a tower. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but
apologizing.
Yeah, I'm wondering myself. Like I'm pausing there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I think I've seen the cheeks move.
Yeah, I'm wondering about Zaini.
I was wondering about that too. That's initially where I was going, but I'm wondering if perhaps the youth might be a factor here. I'm wondering if this is sort of like a early in his career, less sure of himself, Z.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm leaning towards subserve. Subserve.
Yeah. Yep.
I haven't ruled out sub-rom, but I'm leaning towards subserve.
Yep. Me too.
Zombies. And last night was tier initiation. Not that that's a good excuse. I'm so sorry.
What if Bucky sees us talking?
We'll make sure he doesn't. See you at the pep rally this afternoon? Zombies don't do pep rallies.
I don't know. I'm hearing an echo.
You are.
Yeah, try it again.
Let's see.
Smitten.
Is it pausing on your side?
It is. I'll press play. Let me see.
Was there a piano player on set playing the romantic?
No.
There was not.
No, he's so great.
But is there like a love story? It looked like.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, very, very good. Does Milo's hair always stand up like this? It's very impressive.
A lot of products.
Right.
A lot of products.
I like
don't
the
wake up
zombie makeup too much.
Oh no,
It's
it's heavy. His tongue is heavy, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to take that in.
Eventually we're able to shorten this.
Okay, his hands though don't seem like. I don't know. I don't think I've seen the crystalline quality.
Right.
Looks more wizardly to me, more tensioned.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that heaviness is dry. That
Yeah, I think it might be.
poignancy.
American Housewife is streaming, so we'll look for you in that, and everybody will look for
I'm wondering if she's Nizai.
you tonight.
Yeah, she looks the classic Nizai.
Yeah,
He was a little bit harder. He's a
yeah,
little bit harder for me to read than she is.
yeah. Same here.
Yeah, but here's
Right
some,
there.
here's some more.
Right here again. It doesn't look like his cheeks are moving.
No, no, it doesn't.
Hey everybody, it's Vina Crown Christmas with your kids.
No, I'd say the majority of times she's a good mom, but sometimes she can't stand
I see the lower lip a lot.
Okay, do you mind muting?
Is she here with you tonight?
She's right over there. She's taking videos on her phone. She's having a very fun time.
Oh, cool. Okay, his movements seem like they're like kind of cultish, but I think I'm seeing more percussiveness than I would with the Zine.
Yeah. Oh, is he Cameron Manheim's son? I think so. She's nicey, right?
Not sure.
Do you know whom I'm speaking of?
I think that she was in like a
She was
attorney
in
show.
an attorney show, yeah, at one point. In the 90s, I think, 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is like cultish Nizi or this is like really, really strong macking Zine.
Yeah,
And this is what we're talking about before. So these are like, I'm seeing some things like I feel like I'm seeing sub elongation and I'm seeing the cheeks not moving. But on the other ones, I feel like I'm right now at the maneuver level. I'm seeing the maneuvers. I'm trying to get to where it's coming from.
I'm getting broken rhythm in the maneuvers and some percussive. It's a level of percussiveness.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I was wondering. That's why I was thinking Nizi, but I was also just wondering maybe it's like a really like on point Zine. But those hands, they don't look like Zine, do they? They look more.
I haven't seen breaks so far. Like I said,
Mine's more Nige hands.
noting what I've seen so far is I seem to see his lower lip moving
Yeah.
a lot. And
He keeps it forward lean, doesn't he?
pulls downward. Yeah, he's keeping a forward lean, and the mouth on the corners pulls down like we see with Jai, and yeah, and he's coming forward, and there's some tension there, and like some broken rhythm looking movement.
Yeah.
I mean, let's
I don't see more.
we have some more footage. Yeah.
Like it there, like the thumbnail. Every now and then he looks like a really on point Zine.
Yeah, I do see that. The eyes is what really jumps out as possibly receptive, and that's what caused, that jumped out to me at first in terms of
Trying to figure out what that is.
yeah. Let's see. I don't think so.
I'm going to talk to you now. Is it an interesting combination?
I don't see anything. Do you?
No, it's a radio show. Manheim. Let me load another one up. there's a heaviness to his voice, and so I'm trying to figure out whether that's a heaviness of the articulation of like a tower.
Sounds a little warm, doesn't it?
It does.
So lean though.
I mean, but I was wondering if that heaviness was poignancy or if it was warmth of like a tower mixed with like warmness with she. Yeah. There's a perk up in the eyes quality that and in here when it pauses, I don't know. I'm wondering
this is actually good. This is good.
Localized.
Yeah, but I'm gonna throw this out here, Charlene. Is this is good to kind of like get used to this new way we'll be doing things. We're gonna do this how you and I would naturally read on our own. I think that you and I had fun with this, and it was fun to get down to like subserve. But now I think I'd rather move on to something else.
Yeah, because it would we'd have to spend a
lot of time, and it would stop being fun because my psyche's like, it's not.
Well, I want to come back. I think that in cases like this, a lot of time we'll put it to attention and then come back at a later date.
Yeah, exactly. So just know, the person sent these in. I'm going to add all these to the database, so we will see them again. But for right now, my field spec read, my field speculation is I think it's likely a subserve. I'm going to leave it at that for now. All right, this is cool. It's kind of learning how we're doing this.
Yeah.
So another one he was interested in is, I probably really messed that name up. Haiku Otani.
Okay. Okay. And she is.
Well, one thing we should do, this is good, is we'll have to make sure this person actually has media that we could use. I don't know, is there 2 decent pictures here, Charlene?
Let's see. Pictures that we could add to the sample surfer. Let's see. Not so far. Where we look for like at least it's like 500 by something. I haven't seen any of those yet, and they have to have a a basic degree of clarity.
Yeah.
Pictures.
I don't think this makes
and size. Yeah, so I think unfortunately from what I'm seeing here, unless is she, and so she's an actress. Let me see if maybe on IMDb.
Yeah.
That could be an avenue. So let's try there. Sometimes, like you said, they have pictures that Google Images doesn't. We'll check for that. Sometimes the internet provides, sometimes it
does not.
Take it away.
No.
It is. Nope.
All right. So with that said, I'll just mention, we've read a good amount of these voice actresses before. In Western, there tends to be a wider spread of voice acting. That's kind of goes along with movies and TV. It's not exactly the same, but there's a lot of crossover. We have seen that there's a strong Nizai presence with the females. So I'll throw it out there. I'm not saying this is a Nizai. I'm just saying that, Charlene and I, we know that from the cases we worked, is there's a high likelihood this person could be a Nizai based on that. But that's not a read. That's not a spec read either.
Right.
All right.
I guess certain things that I will say that I am reading just off of these pictures. So I will say I'm seeing lift in the eyes. I'm seeing a broad face. And I'm seeing a warm smile. I'm not necessarily seeing evidence of activation in the cheeks. So those things that I'm seeing.
Yeah, same. I agree. I think but I would want better media before I could actually give any kind of real go at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that one is not going to be added to the collection. All right. Here's another one, Charlene. Phil Lester.
Okay.
Oh, wait, one thing. Do you want to check real quick? Did we check to see if she has a video?
We didn't check, so I can do that. Got some footage. Looks like.
So the next question I was going to ask you was...
It's too far away, too washed out.
Let's check this one.
Yeah, I'm the same place myself. I have a hunch that she might be
Yeah.
Nizai, but I can't get.
Yeah.
I can't even give like a speculation on that. That's just a hunch.
Yeah. Same here.
But again, I don't mind sharing where I'm at on things. So there's that. Phil Lester. Who's that?
Okay. He is an English YouTuber and former radio personality.
All right.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Haven't seen evidence of cheeks moving yet.
Seems like a
certain elongation.
his eyes seem receptive.
Yeah. I'm seeing elongation.
I think, yeah, agreed.
And I'm seeing receptiveness. It's leading me towards ad and leading me towards this whole the cues that I'm getting off of pictures like these is ziny.
Same here.
Elongation, a pucker, localized looking, looks like G, receptive, and sheer cheeks.
Yeah. Can you go down a little bit? I think there might be some ones where she's hands a little bit. Yeah, like there. So I was talking about the other one I was looking for. I didn't see the guy we were doing earlier. There's a better one if you go up. But that's a little bit there too. But the one we got the mouse whiskers or the cat whiskers. His hands is fuzzy, but the way they're split. There you go. Okay, bam. Okay, that looks like ziny hands.
Yeah.
And that's what I was not seeing with that other sample.
Yeah.
when I was saying like
illustration,
I'm not seeing classic ziny hands. Like, what does that mean? This. Wish I had an HD. People were like, what does ziny hands look like? Male ziny hands like that. they do other things, but yeah. All right. Yeah, the way to put his glasses on, where they use a lot of pad. The more signal there is, the more people tend to have a power arc in their fingers like this, and they kind of like a pincer. They hold things with the tips, like where there's hard bone. But ad mojos tend to use more with the pads, more like so. I don't think we see me, but anyway, I was talking about. I realized I can see myself, but I don't know if people can. Can they see the little windows down here? They see us?
Don't think so.
Is there a way we can set that to where they would see us?
I'll look into it.
All right, cool. But anyway, long story short is that the way he's grabbing his glasses, he's using a lot of the padded part, the fleshy part of the finger tip area. So not like the head of the tip, but bone is more pronounced, but sort of beneath, under the finger. Yeah, you tend to notice that when they pick up things, pencils, glasses, cup on the table, things like that. Yep. All right, cool. So I'm leaning towards ziny here.
Yeah, from the pictures. I agree. So now video. Let's see here. Here you can see his body posture as well.
Watching HuffPost Live, I'm Alex Miranda. YouTube fanatic actually say that you always wanted to start shooting videos, but you didn't have the confidence.
Yeah.
So looking back on that video, which was
Oh god,
no,
don't do this to me. Oh god, that annotation. The wildlings north of the wall look like. It got to a point where we finished all the writing and we were like, so there we go, we've written
Live community. Kira has a question.
Okay, so he's on the right hand.
amazing
Isn't it?
trailer that we like this thing.
I don't know. Well, so far it could be about my waffle addiction because
Yeah.
The thing you don't understand.
I'm seeing the lower tensioning in his body.
got to the hotel, got the biggest waffle.
A crystalline gesturing,
Yeah.
like fingers,
Oh, yeah.
lower
Very low
tension
tension in the
breaks.
hands.
Like it's not leafy is more on the dry side, but there is
Yeah, it's like long tassels.
yeah.
Like the ad they have more compact wiggly tassels, and the ad sub they have like longer, sort of like strand tassels, looser base knuckles.
Yeah.
Well, any mental health expert would say it's terrible to be like, rules are being written a lot.
And we were in a car.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah,
Bill hate lion.
Ziny.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can see the sheer cheeks, everything. Yeah. So,
cool. All right,
Ziny.
so Mark and Jolene. All right, so this is going to get added when I update the stuff, and Jolene will put it into the program for me. This is going to be a field spec read. So that's the lowest initial, speculative confidence. So this case is still open, but that is my initial speculation out here in the field. So anyone who wants to have that, you are welcome to that information. All right. Let's see. Let's do another one. He's got Ian Ridenhour.
Okay. Music artist.
Pretty young. Try to get the
Pretty
older
young.
picture.
Yeah. But
The older.
so it'll be the similar to that one case we were looking at a little bit ago, that the youth will add
Yeah.
a degree of difficulty to it. But
Question. Again, do we have any? There two pictures we could actually work with here.
Let's see. Would you take this one?
No.
Okay, because it's too young.
Yeah.
This one maybe. I don't know how it blows.
No, it's too small because it's only 300 by 450, and he's
Yeah.
far away. Usually, what we like is to have like 400 by 400. That's up to on their face, like a portrait. 400 by 400. That's like the minimum.
This one is 1280 by 720.
That might be able to be cropped
Maybe
down,
I'll
possibly.
crop it.
All right,
So
so
one
possibly one.
possible. There's
Yeah, I don't think it's. Well, maybe no. It's
no,
fuzzy.
fuzzy.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and just we're qualify this also as it's not enough to be in the collection. I have a hunch. Do you have any hunch, Charlene?
My hunch is on Ziny.
Same here. Okay, so that's my hunch as well. But like I said, that's not even speculation. That's just a hunch. But the overall cues
Body
I can
line,
see,
yeah.
body line, so forth. I have a hunch that he might be a Ziny, but I'll leave it at that. All right. Let's see. Jenna Joseph. This is fun. This is great. This will be very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think still a good value added because you and I are kind of just doing fun time reading at a spec level. Still adds it's a value added for the human species. So
Yep.
and
Here we
it's fun. And without the pressure I had to close these or do anything like that, it's nice. I actually because I read all the time just for pleasure. So.
She's the wife, Jen Joseph, if this is the right one, would be the wife of 21 Pilots lead vocalist Tyler Joseph, and looks like she has. I don't think we'll have problems with getting enough images because looks like she's on Instagram.
Right.
Although let me check, double
Those
check
are small.
that. Those are small. So far, let me see. The 400. Yeah, we haven't found anything yet. Let me see what she has on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. We'll have to go through. We'd have to go through
Yeah.
and look
No.
for pictures.
That's not fun. Like I said, this is fun reading. That's not fun. Okay. How about this person? Josh Dunn.
But if we have the wrong person, let us know.
Yeah, or there's images somewhere that are good.
Yeah. Okay, and he is the drummer for 21 Pilots. So he should have enough media. Let's see. 300, 300. Okay, so there's this one. This one good enough?
You see?
How about this one? This one?
Yeah,
Should have other pictures.
you
This
should.
one. This one. Do, do, do. This one would do.
Looks fuzzy where I'm at. Does it not look fuzzy where you're at?
Slightly, I guess. If I really pay,
Actually, surely we have him in the collection. So I don't know what I must have found some decent pictures
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so he's already there.
But he's down his attention. So
Okay.
I'll say this: his pictures aren't giving me a lot to work with.
You want to
Yeah,
see
not sure.
some video?
Yeah, let's see what we got going on there.
All right. Here we go.
Right now, it's way more common. One artist. Time I didn't feel like really.
I see some diffuseness. I think I'm looking at Nez.
Yeah.
What do you think? I haven't seen his cheeks move yet.
No.
He's had a good, easy time articulating. Seems like he's telling the story. It's been continuous so far.
Yeah.
Like so, easy time with monologuing or talking, just dialoguing. He seems to look away more, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
He's looking away a lot to the left, and it's kind of like has this far away sort of look.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a softness to his voice of like kind of a little bit of a far
Like a
away quality, a lilt.
A lilt, you think maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting.
We connected with CJ probably in 2012. It was really early on. It was cool for me because at that point, we've always tried to be good. All of our production, we had to.
It's not very common compared to some other mojos, but you know, I'm thinking he might be maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning, because I think I'm seeing the lower lip and the pull from the lower
and the cheeks
jaw.
aren't moving. But yeah, he's giving me that Nye Hunter, the Nye first drifts there. Yeah.
And I think it has that like dichotomy of like a sort of a hunter, a percussiveness, a dissatisfaction with vulnerability that I'm seeing in the lower half of the mouth, of the face.
He's got a hunter hunch going on too.
Yeah.
His hands look like they have tension.
Yeah. Yeah, something I'm thinking I'm seeing, Nice as well.
Well, this isn't as usual, so I wouldn't mind looking at the video.
Yeah. Let's see. Here was someone else. But we could maybe able to get some good stuff off of here.
researching, seeing, yeah, on Twitter. There are a lot of.
Was that Jai?
I think it might be.
Okay, so stepping back, what am I still seeing here? I'm still seeing the dreaminess.
Yeah.
Looking to the left, far away.
Mhm.
Seeing
That
it
hand there, that hand looked tensioned.
Yeah, it looks tension.
The
See
way
more
it's-
tension here on
Yeah.
in this interview even than the other one.
He reminds me every now and then of like a young Val Kilmer.
Yeah, and also just slightly something about it reminds me of Josh Bernthal a little bit, just at least in his mouth area. I think that's
Josh
where.
Bernthal. Who's he? Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was interesting. We were super impressed. I can imagine this.
No, there was a moment. There was a moment where, like, you know what? This is at a high enough level. I want to stop.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah. So put him down. That's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still seeing all
Same
the
thing.
cues. Yep.
Cool. So this is the field spec read. So I think we did 2 today. So we did some hunches and we did some field spec reads.
Yeah, we did 3 Milo Manheim, well, Subserb, Phil Lester, and Josh Dunn.
Cool. Nice. And so those are all field spec, and actually the one is still partial, is not even a spec, full spec. All right. I'm feeling a little fried from that. So let's go ahead and move on to something that has my interest, and because I want to see if I can stay in here for the full time. I like to keep it up if I can. And I am looking at the Mojo and families. So I'm curious about what's going on there. Okay. Let's see,
Share
Joey.
your screen, or
No, I'll just grab one and throw it in there. Okay, so okay, this might be a tough one, Charlene. I pulled this for a while because Jessica Lange had been down for a while as Naiji, but that was way back in the day. And then a while after that, I found that she has 2 daughters with Mikhail Baryshnikov, Alexandra Baryshnikov and Anna Baryshnikov. I was leaning towards Nijai with them, so I'm curious about that. So they've all 3 been pulled, and I'd like to take another look at them. But I guess we'll kind of treat this as one case. So here they are: Jessica Lange, the mom, and then those are her 2 daughters with Mikhail Baryshnikov. I'll take a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Alrighty, so.
All right, so I did pull up. I have 3 tabs going, so I'll share those. All right. 3 Google Images tabs, one with Jessica Lange, one with Alexandra Baryshnikov, and the other with Anna. And we can take a look. Do you think, do you want to, which route do you want to go? Do you want to go with Jessica and then her daughters, or daughters and then Jessica?
Daughters and Jessica, because I have much less association with them. But with Jessica Lange, I've seen her in a lot of movies over the years, and so there's a lot more association.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, right away, it's very striking to me as like this picture. So this is Alexandra Baryshnikov. Yeah, I mean, it jumps out to me as Nizai. Just
Izai?
yeah, Nizai. Yeah, the broadness of her face, the broad, boxy, the G, and doesn't seem moving. And that what also is jumping is the eyes look very receptive and drinking in.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I see the eyes and the lift, but I'm wondering if there's any chance that's Jai.
mm. So what are you thinking?
I'm wondering if, well, I'm wondering if they're, yeah, I'm wondering if they're all Nijai or they're all Nizai or all Naiji. I'm not sure. And so, but yeah, like take the picture of her up there on the left. The one above it, you were there before. I forget where you are now. Oh, there it is. Go. Never mind.
Sorry, and I'm not sure which one you did.
Okay, so just don't move the screen. Don't move the screen.
Sure.
Okay, if you go up from the photo that's enlarged now, if you go straight up from there, that's, yeah. What about that? Does that look impacted at all?
Yeah, I could see what you're saying. I mean, it looks. I'm unsure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm seeing some dissonance there.
Yeah.
It may be, but I'm not sure.
And just throw this into the mix. This isn't like the same-sex connection, but there is still the romantic connections. Is she had long relationships with Mikhail Baryshnikov, who's Naiji, and with Sam Shepard, who's Nai-Z. So there's a whole lot going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. So these two here, these were her two significant relationships or public eye relationships.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess what I should, stepping back, I can say I feel pretty confident about Ab-Ad. And there's a diffuse quality to
it looks dreamy.
eyes. It looks dreamy. It looks
like knee.
Yeah, it looks like knee. Now on the emoting, I have less confidence just because that dissonance that I'm seeing in certain pictures. I see jump out boxy and not impassive cheeks.
Yeah.
And then I do see some possibly impacted emoting. So there's some dissonance there on the emoting side. Yeah, like this picture. And this picture, is that impacted or not? Yeah.
Or is it like pain G or something? Because she has a bit of like an awkward look, but I don't want to overly weight that.
Yeah, I'm with you. But then I get flashes of, but maybe this is not. So sometimes my memory is not calling the exact thing. But I'm wondering, like Miriam Dabo, maybe one of those where there's like this vulnerability that
that vulnerable Nizai.
Yeah. So don't want to rule that out.
Yes, I'm really trying to zone in what the mouth is actually doing, what the cheeks are doing, but she kind of keeps herself held a bit.
Yeah. Like here, for example, like here where it looks more like both lips, upper and lower lip, look like they're projecting outward a little bit. That's where it's tricky, because then some here, I see the lower lip more. So yeah, I'm seeing some dissonance there on the emoting piece.
Is that her?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, sure, Alexandra. Yeah, then again, yeah, I'm wondering.
Okay, let's kind of hold there for a little bit. Let's take a look at the other sister.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, again, right away jumping out the eyes, and knee diffuseness and drinking in, and very comfortable being out.
The lift as well.
Mm-hmm.
How about that one?
Which one?
The one the sidebar you have open now. Yeah. One to the right of that. One to the right.
Here.
Yeah.
I see brightness. I see like lift, and I see glowiness. But I guess I'm not 100% confident on the emoting piece yet either.
Yeah, same thing here. Because like she has this awkward kind of thing, but at the same time she got that kind of like that pointy chinned wedge shape that I kind of associate with Nizai.
Mm-hmm.
But so far though, the daughters are not really seeing like anything with Naiji.
No, like in even this picture here, I'm seeing more like that gumbiness, like the rounded kind of it's not so much fleshy, but it's full, like rounded.
It's got the wiggly, yeah, the compact wiggly. Because even there, she's kind of like putting weight on that left wrist, but still, it doesn't have a lot of tension.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can still see it has low baseline tension, even when it's like holding weight.
Yeah.
All right. Do they have any video?
Maybe. Let's check. Anna does.
All right.
Haven't seen her cheeks move yet.
Oh, she said. Did you say her mother was Lisa Reinhardt? So maybe I'm wrong about this. This is good.
Let's see. All. Yep, Lisa Reinhardt is Anna's mother with Mikhail Baryshnikov, and
Okay.
Alexandra is Jessica Lange's daughter.
Okay. All right. So that's good enough. So actually, the other daughter is not. So we should not count her in this.
Okay, so Alexandra is the focus then. If that's the case, let me see. As I was searching for Alexandra, Anna came up, so let me see if she might not have.
Also, I think they call her
footage.
her main nickname is Shura.
Shura? Okay. All right. Looks like she may be a dancer. Yeah, she's a dancer. But I don't think there is speaking footage of her.
Okay. All right.
See, this might be. There she is back there. Here.
Collaboration with composer Caitlin Scholl. I know it. That work was presented by the Downtown Providence Conservancy. How incredible is the Providence Arts and Business Society for supporting our work? Billy Lynch was the first choreographer we worked with this season. We're also commissioning Heidi Henderson, who'll be collaborating again with cellist Adrian Taylor. And we're commissioning a new work by Boston-based choreographer Alyssa Snow, who'll be collaborating with composer Nate Tucker. Here we are, Murder, Snow, and Washington. Right here is where we had our first performance of the season at PVD Fest, presented by First Groups. Here's an excerpt from All Things from Brooklyn. I need some help. Where you come in?
Oh, here we go.
Families, supporters. This please works too. I'd like to donate. Every little bit helps. And because we're fiscally sponsored by American Atlas, all of your donations.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'm still saying knee first. Let's switch gears and take a look at Jessica Lange.
Okay, so Jessica Lange picture-wise, here we go. So she has a, let's see, I can see Nez, diffuseness in the eyes. Also, I don't think I'm seeing the cheeks move.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I'm not seeing the cheeks move there. And it's that lower set mouth, you know, that we see with
Says.
Zez. And
Yeah, so I wonder when I was thinking that she was nice, she back there, I think maybe she's like a regal, she's kind of got a regal quality there, but like a regal knee's eye.
yeah, regal knees eye. Because yeah, I think it goes sideways, like and not into the cheeks, and um, you see it here more too. When she
Mm-hmm.
was younger, what?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's more like
that's
Cheshire.
the Cheshire. Here, yeah, looks like a eye.
Yeah, let's see some interviews. How about that one there with the green shirt? Yeah,
Yeah,
this is good. I've looked at this case in a long while.
yep, looks eye.
Very
Here,
cool.
yeah, the regal aspect of there too when she was young,
All right, yeah, see, looks a video then.
right? Yeah, big smile. It's not going above the midline, so and it's warm, and the lower lip is engaging. Yeah, her cheeks are not moving, and it's going
No,
sideways.
this is cool.
Yeah, she's drinking in.
Got that. Yeah, G pucker.
Yeah, yeah. And there's less tension in her gesturing.
Yeah. So I think you may have been right about the daughter then.
Yeah.
Nice. Now I was actually noting, if you can go back and look at the daughter again, that other person she was with, the other dancer, I think that was an IZ.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I remember looking, I was like, is this like a Niji with a Niji? And I was like, no, that's a Nizi. And I was like, is that a Nizi with a Niji? No.
Let's see. Pull that up. Shnikov. Okay, here she's actually speaking.
Oh, perfect.
But yeah, she has a warmness, and
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going into the cheeks. If you notice it, is the
Yeah.
upper lip is engaged.
Yeah, she has kind of like apple cheeks in a way, but they're not flexing.
Yeah,
But they're not as sheer, they're a little rounded. She has like little mounds there a little bit.
yeah. And she has again like a more vulnerability to her expression than her mother had. Her mother's
And a
riff.
lot of needs eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. She's a very interesting riff. But it's funny because I'm not seeing the cheeks move, but she has a riff that you see a lot more Nijai.
She has a lot of humanity to her.
Yes.
Like I don't know, it's like a lot of empathy coming through in her articulation. It's like
Pathos.
yeah, ethos. Yeah.
Pathos. Yeah.
Said pathos.
Yes. Yeah, she has these kind of like awkward roles there. But she has that set pucker we associate with G,
Mm-hmm.
where she places the mouth.
Yeah, I see it too.
Yeah, she's a tough case. Like not so much physiological wise, but her riff.
Yeah.
She's doing a lot of like maneuvers and stylings that I associate with Nijai. Like that, the shrug of the shoulder, where she goes, she warmed her face and shrugged her shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you look at the cues, what she's using to make those maneuvers, it's G, and the cheeks aren't moving, so it's like, um, yeah. So Nizai, do you see it?
I think I do. I'd like to see a little more because she's so unusual. Can we go back to that video with her dance friend?
I will try to find that one again. Here we go.
I think that's an IZ.
Yeah. Yep. She's actively listening with warmth with G.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Also, even the Nizi is interesting too, because we see a lot more with them it was Naiji in dance, for example. So Nizi getting that action too. Cool. All right. Yeah. Are you writing these down, by the way?
I am.
Okay, so then let's put Jessica Lang down as Nizai, and then yeah, put them both down as Nizai, and I'll figure out what level of rating I want to give them later.
Sure. Sounds good.
Categories. All right, very, very cool. Let's see. Let's try. Okay. Wanted to add them to the list here. No, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, here's one I have to take away for a while. And you, Jolene, we're looking to get into the music bubble not too far down the pike anyway. So here is Robin Thicke and Alan Thicke. And so I had Robin Thicke down as a Nijai for a while. And then I had Alan Thicke did. And then Robin Thicke I had down as Nijai as well when he came in the collection later. But I had influx of realizing that how strong the Vijay male presence in music is. And so when that happened, I was less sure of Robin Thicke. So I pulled him and his dad. So I think I'm ready to go back into it.
Okay.
So
I'm loading the images up for both of them so we can
take a look at the Thicke boys. That was fun to say.
Any preference on who we take a look at first?
No, either way.
All right. So here is Alan Thicke. And again, what? So
yeah, I'm getting Adab. He's got that.
Yeah.
And knee. Well, not knee, but no, sorry, I meant shy. I'm getting the lift with the chipmunk cheeks. Yeah, both of them there. They got the big drinking in eyes, and then the expectant mouth and the chipmunk cheeks. But I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing with the eyes.
So what had you had them as before?
I had them both down as Nijai, but then when I realized how strong the Vijay male presence was in music, I kind of like pulled a bunch of previously tagged Nijai in music and Robin Thicke was one of them, because I at that time was not feeling confident at distinguishing Nijai from Bijai male,
I see.
and then I pulled Alan Thicke because of he's related.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So yeah, I'm seeing the Jez gather cues. Now, in terms of the eyes, I don't know. There's something that's not quite has that. It doesn't quite have that gem-like quality
No,
to his eyes. The clarity that that I associate with V seems more like a hazy.
yeah, this is good though, because I did this a while ago, and yeah, I think I wasn't. The Vijay tend to do more like pop music, and Robin Thicke does a lot of pop music, so I was like trying to like deal with that, contextualizing. All right, so I think I'm seeing it with the dad, but now I'd like to see if I can see it with the son.
Okay. All right. So sun, Robin Thicke. Here we go. Okay. Here. Yeah, there's more of a milky quality,
Mm-hmm.
milky hazy, rather than a gem-like quality, I think.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. This is good to kind of come back to it after being away for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at video.
I guess he showed on the Medium show, Hollywood Medium show. Do you want to do you want to watch that one? Because
Is
I think
there
that's about the
the best we got there? All right.
best we got.
Well, how do we start with? Let's start with the son then.
Okay. Well, actually, maybe not, because I think that it auto-filled with
Okay.
Tyler Henry. I was like, wow, he's only done it with an interview. That's surprising. All right. No, he has some other interview footage here. So let me pull this one up. Wait, it's a little fuzzy, unfortunately,
Yeah.
this one. I was enjoying it, but let's see.
Really understand that attitude. Congratulations. Thank you. Do you feel? Yeah, you should. Do you feel solid? Do you feel secure? I do. The show is sold in syndication now, so we're producing 5 years worth of show, and I feel terrific about the show. It's a wonderful working environment.
Let's see this one here. Wendy Williams.
Some days that's all you. I played hockey.
There's more. It's not as comfortable with
No, he's not
being
as
in his body.
in his body. Yeah.
Yeah. Robin Thicke looks a little bit like Justin Timberlake. Something reminds me.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Like, there's certain names that you can't Right. You know who you're supposed to. Do you ever do?
This interview is hella awkward, but
I know.
I got transfixed by it for a moment there.
I know. Let me see what else we got.
Yeah, but I got Nijai from him there.
Yeah. Oh, him and his son when he was younger. They were younger.
Mostly by saying, I can help Robin with the ballads, the mushy stuff. But when it comes to the dance stuff, he says, Daddy, you give me a sandwich?
Earlier, we wrote a song together. Started from.
Yeah, he also has that thing of like not quite in his body.
Yeah, well, I would look at him growing up. So I'm focusing on the dad right now, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I still see the same cues for the dad. You
Yeah.
agree?
All right, can we take a look at the son then?
Yeah.
Cool. Very nice. So the thicks.
All right.
All right. Here's another one. I pulled these guys, they're brothers, the Giamatti brothers, because they've been down as Shiny. But after the break that we had with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Jeffrey Wright, I want to take a look at the Giamatti brothers again.
Okay. Let me load up their pictures. Okay.
My goodness, it's super dark in my room. I forgot to open my blinds up. I looked down, I was like, who's that ninja? Oh, that's me.
Stealthy.
I know. Who's that stealth mode person?
All right. Okay. Any preference again, or just?
Yeah, leave the new layer lab though. I definitely got to get a lighting setup because this gives the back of my head and the side of my face are getting excellent work.
Yes, we'll have opportunities for better lighting coming up.
All right. Okay, now he has gained some weight over the years, but he looks more up, doesn't he? Those eyes, maybe. Well,
versus sorry, what is it that you're pondering?
They had been down for as Shiny.
Okay.
And I pulled them because of the break that we had with Philip Seymour Hoffman and what other guy, Jeffrey Wright from Westworld.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, and I am. Then I see what you're going between Ob and Sub.
Yeah.
Sub-Rom, and
Actually, Dinjar Jaini specifically.
Yeah. I think I'm seeing the eyes. I agree with you on these pictures.
He might be again like kind of like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Jeffrey Wright, where he uses Jai a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's got a very heavy Jai voice. For the eyes, right?
Yeah, the eyes are big and drinking in. A lot of energy coming out of them. Yeah. Although he uses his Jai for, a lot of impact, emotive impact. So it can be distracting.
Yeah, it doesn't go out, not necessarily that it goes in his eyes, but
Yeah.
he kind of keeps his Jai perpetually in his game. A lot of these Jai don't do that. You know what I mean? You'll see sometimes where the Jai is kind of like on along for the ride, and the eyes are kind of mainly doing it. But he, like every picture I see, he's got a very strong Jai maneuver going.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like possibly Philip Seymour Hoffman and Jeffrey Wright, similar riff.
Yeah. Want to take a look at his brother?
Yes.
All right. This is Marcus Giamatti. Now, he's interesting. I mean, because he's looking pretty long face.
Long, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so
Looks like a Will Ferrell in some pictures. I don't know. But in some others, looks possibly receptive. I don't know. So I'm
Yeah.
conflicted on him. But I am seeing, I guess, throughout all these pictures, elongation that I don't think I'm seeing with Paul Giamatti, or it's not as evident.
Yeah. Like I said, Paul Giamatti has gained weight over the years, so I want to factor that in.
Mhm.
Maybe is there any pictures of Paul when he's younger?
Let's see.
Still has a lot of knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to take a look at video?
Yeah.
He was Matty and older brother of Academy Award nominated actor.
Live right now. Okay. Welcome to Talking Look. My name is Adam Rifkin, and I am the writer, director, and one of the producers.
Okay, so I think this is what this is going to be our primary, or
All right.
this is our only video, looks like, that has his.
One of the stars of Look. And before we get started,
Okay, I'm getting Adram.
we wanted to show
Yeah.
That looks like me and Jai.
Yeah.
before Look the series. Here it is.
His hands go long, do they?
Yeah, well, they do. But I'm still taking it in.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
he has a lot of, like, ability to, like, an engaging way about
Yeah,
him.
he
So I'm
does.
trying to.
That's true.
Let me see. Let me fast forward here.
Yeah.
Yeah, long fingers. Those look leafy.
Although they're long, but he does have them cupped. They're in a curve.
He does. I mean, it's long. They're long and lean. I guess that's just
Yeah.
like
But I didn't see the like the depressed base knuckles like I see with Jaini.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to distill this one, him, because
No.
I don't. I think just
Yeah.
off of this one piece of footage, it's grainy and
Yeah.
it's a little far away, and
Yeah.
I'm getting some dissonant cues that I'd want more media to.
More. Yeah. Or at least be in more lab conditions. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll hold off on that. But I think Paul Giamatti, we feel pretty good about that though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's note that one down.
Okay.
All right. So got a little bit of time left here. Let's see. Is there any time for something else? I'm feeling pretty fatigued, so I don't want to do anything too crazy hard. What about well, I just added them to our list, so this might be pretty straightforward possibly, but we should definitely confirm it. Back in the day, we weren't as strong with picture reading, so there were samples that weren't included. One that I've added, that I'm going to add to the collection, because I think we can do picture reads a lot stronger, is the current leader of North Korea and his father. So Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un.
All right. Let me pull those pictures up. Okay. This is juicy.
Juicy. World leaders.
All right. Kim Jong-il. Here we go. Here's some pictures. I mean, there's some interspersed pictures of his son, but this is him. Right, so I'm seeing broadness of the face, and I'm seeing compactness of the hands. Looks like Ob.
Looks like shy.
Looks like shy. Yeah, I was going to say, and furthermore, it looks like shy.
It looks like I'd go Z. I'm gonna say Xeni likely because of the bubble we're in. But you know, it's funny. If I just saw him out and about, he's an interesting riff. Not all the pictures, but some of the ones where he's chunkier and more round.
Wondering Nijai, right?
Or Vijay, yeah, when the Jez gathers.
Yeah, the Jez, yeah. Yep.
Those cheeks don't look like they move. They're round, but they don't seem like they're flexing it.
Right. Yeah, it's localized.
Got a little Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Well, not what I'm saying, but that Xeni rosebud mouth.
Yes. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, those hands, they look strongly tensioned. They're compact, but they look.
Yeah. Don't have like break points.
No, they don't look wiggly.
No.
Cool. Take a look at the sun real quick.
Yeah, again, that rosebud quality, broad faced. Looks like a Z alpha, Z9.
Yeah. Some of the ones where he's chunkier and he's showing a happy face. I have to make sure I'm like, that's not a Vijay, but yeah, overall looks pretty Xeni. Yep. I'm good with the bar.
Yep, I am.
Xeni?
Z9.
All right, cool. So that we'll make those notes. And all right, so Jolly and I are still working on the winter sport, and currently dialing in on the females, and then we're going to jump over the males and then combine them and do another pass. We're getting very close on that. And I myself will continue my pushes to work on the A grades. That's where I am right now. Glenn's practicing, doing work on experiments on that. I'm going to try, if at all possible, by the time that he's ready to quiz out the whole thing, to have that to data bedrock. But I cannot make any promises, but the work is going well. So I will stay at it till we get there. All right. Anything else, Charlene, before we head out?
Nothing for me.
All right. Take care, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.